Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, Mr. Chairman, for good introduction of me. I'm very happy to be here, and I really appreciate the organizing committee to invite me to this very interesting symposium. It's always fun for me to talk about something on Japan. Usually, the agriculture policy that is attacked by many other exporting countries, but this time the horticulture and vegetable, it's a very happy to talk about. Let me see. Okay, today I'd like to talk about changes in demographic structure in Japan, and also changes in food consumption pattern in aging society. These are somewhat overlapping the presentation by Onishi-san this morning. And also a trend of vegetable consumption, and also vegetable imports. That means exports for you. And increasing demand, it's a kind of a new trend for cut vegetables, and also increasing demand for functional vegetables. That would be a very important in the future, in near future, for Japanese market. And then I conclude to a summary given. Sorry. This is a similar figure that was given by Onishi-san. Population trend and projections in Japan since 1920 to 2060. Let's see. Now we have about 120 million people in Japan, but it's going to be decreasing to about 80 in total, about 2/3 of the current population. And also the age, this is over 65 years old, and 15 to 50 years old here. It's decreasing a lot. We call this one production or working age. And young people are decreasing faster than other ages. If we look at the trend by age, this one is 20 to 64 years old population. It's going to be less than 50 in year 2050. So if we count the 75 years old, it's going to be about 25% of total population. And if we count 65 over, it's going to be 40% of total population. So question is what happened on the consumption of food and also vegetable. Before talking about that, it's not long years from now, just like year 2030 compared with year 2010. We have an age pyramid. You can see easily it's going to be shifting up. So we call this one aging society. Particularly, so we can reduce the number of the young kids like this. It's just changing for 20 years, not 50 or 60 years. So this is also important figure to show. And what happened on the consumption if we enter in aging society? This is an interesting figure. It's not a forecast. It's a ratio of consumption of over 60 years old to that of less than 60 years old. So we can see if we are getting old, over 60 years old, then what happened? The items to increase consumption in elder people, these are the facilities or somewhat healthcare materials and also. But fortunately, the vegetables are increasing about 30% than younger generation. The borderline is 60 years old, as I said. And I didn't show that, but the fruits, this means the fruits in Japanese, it's about 70% more than the younger generation. So the vegetables and the fruits are very, promising to increase the consumption in aging society. However, the population itself is decreasing. So the question is, what about the total effect of the decreasing the population and the shifting from younger generation to elder generation of the vegetables? So this is a very interesting question. Look at another figure. This is a ratio of food consumption items by kind to total consumption per month, per person, per household, I would say that. This is a single person, male single person household. This should be G. Single person household, female, and two or more than persons household. Definitely in the younger age of the single person household, this is prepared food and dining out. So they are eating a lot outside, or they are using the prepared food as food consumption. But it's radically decreasing as they are getting elder. The situation is the same as same for the female single persons household, and a little bit the trend is less than compared with the single persons, but the trend is the same as the case of the two or more persons household. And also, on the other hand, perishable foods like vegetables and fruits, the demand is increasing as getting elder. This is a good sign for aging society to increase the vegetable consumption. But the problem is the population is decreasing. And this is also interesting figure. Usually we say that dying out is increasing, particularly for young kids. But in total, since 1990s, rather dying out, the consumption is a little bit decreasing. On the other hand, house meal replacement is increasing very, very rapidly. So the eating in restaurants are about the same as 20 years ago. However, some cooked meal or ready-to-eat meal, these are increasing rapidly. And we call exteriorizing meal. That is a sum of the dying out and whole meal replacement. These are just in the middle between this one and this one. So but the trend is upward. I should emphasize that the home meal replacement is increasing. This is the evidence of that it should be home home meal, M should be here, home meal replacement. By age, it's 20 years old, and 30 years old, 40, and 70 years old up to. This is the same trend as vegetable consumption changing by age. This is for home meal replacement as well. However, the total consumption of vegetables are decreasing. Sorry. Since 1992 down to the year 2010, the trend is downward rapidly. However, fortunately, we have a little bit upward trend since 2010. This could be a good sign for the vegetable market. And I don't know, this is a very temporary phenomenon or some changing the trend, or that we passed the bottom through or not. We should analyze on that. But anyway, the 3-year consequent increases, that could be a good sign anyway. And another figure is vegetable intake per day per person by generation. This is a similar figure, but exactly is grams in weight. The sorry to the very not clear the number. It's 1 to 6 years old, 7 to 17, 15 to 19. And 20, 29, and so on. And the target of the vegetable consumption is called 350 grams per person per day from the nutrition viewpoint. However, we are very behind in all the generations. We are behind the consumption below the, behind the target of the ideal consumption of vegetables. So the government also promoting to increase the vegetable consumption at least to up to this target. That means also we have some hope to increase the vegetable consumption. This is international comparison of the vegetables supply. Sorry, only these countries are in Japanese. Top one is China, Greek, Korea, and Spain. And Japan is here. Just it's a supply, not intake or consumption itself. And Australia is here. And this is just a specific consumption of tomato. It's interesting, so I just picked up as a figure. And the top of the tomato consumption in the world is Libya, 150 kilograms per year per person. And this is Italy, 60 kilograms per person per year. In Japan, just 8.3 kilograms per person per year. So still we have potential to increase consumption of vegetables. This is an example. And let me move on to the imports of vegetables into Japan. It's fluctuated depending on the, of course, the currency exchange rate and so on. But in recent years, largest was year 2005. At the bottom is now it's decreased, but the imports is recovering gradually. Since year 2008 or 9. And half of the imports are coming from China. So we should analyze the market of the Japan for export for you. What are the main contents of imports of Japan from other countries? This is the answer. Trend of fresh vegetables imports in Japan by product. The top one is onion. And second is pumpkin. And carrot, welch, onion, burdock, and other. So the onion is number one of the fresh vegetables import in Japan by product. And among the vegetables, fresh vegetables, the demand for cut vegetables are increasing rather rapidly than other vegetables. Look at this year 2009, less than the 3,000 yens. It's per 1,000 persons. So just controlled by the population changes. So the both in number and the number and the volume are increasing rapidly. So the cut vegetables markets are increasing. This is in total. Then this is an example of the cut vegetables, some of which are already introduced this morning. And it's a simple cut, and this is a one-pot dishes set in the vegetable cup salad and famous potato salad. These are the example of the cut flowers, which demand are very, whose demands are very increasing. And the major contents of the cut vegetables, like this, these are, in the case of the fig, the simple one, it's a single product, but the other type of the cut vegetables, many contents are included. So they look at the major contents of the cut vegetables. The onion, Japanese radish, lettuce, carrots are the major member of the contents of the cut vegetables. Then look at the case of the import items of cut vegetables. Onion is much larger than the total the ratio of the cut vegetables in general. This is the major contents cut vegetables. All this case imported items for cut vegetables. So onion is a major other contents. Then the reasons why they are using imported items for cut vegetables. This is a survey conducted by the ADIC. As we expect that the cheap prices are the major reason. And no domestic supply or domestic bad harvest. These are just complements of the domestic products. So it's a traditional reasons. And also seasonal differences like Australia and Japan. And these are the traditional reasons for using imports for cut vegetables. However, we have another reasons which are increasing. Stable supply and stable quality. And also users' preferences. We should be analyzing these reasons in details, but today I did not bring the analytical result yet. And the third major point of my presentation is to emphasize increasing demand for functional vegetables. The carrots and cherry tomatoes, which contain lycopene twice as much as ordinary tomato or carrots. And baby green pepper containing carotene twice as much as ordinary green peppers. And also quercetin-rich onions. These are getting popular. Those markets are still small, but it has a very big potential. So functioning vegetables are getting popular as we are getting into aging society particularly. And before giving the summary, just I picked up the interesting map. The vegetable intake, this is for only male, per prefecture year 2010. The analysts picked up some index for the consumption of vegetables. The number one is not Tokyo, or of course it's a per person. It's a Nagano, interestingly. It's a, the landlocked prefecture. But we should be careful to look at this one, because the Nagano prefecture, the consumption of vegetables are very large, but mostly they are pickled vegetables. So they not fresh or some ready-made or cut vegetables type. So when we look at the consumption pattern in Japan, we should be very careful about the treatment of the pickled vegetables. And also the imports of China, that is large, but mostly they are used for pickled vegetables. Let me conclude a summary. Demand for vegetables depend on the demographic shift to aging society. So the people are getting elder, then the consumption is increasing for vegetables. However, general trend of decline in consumption because of the less population. So it's a mixture of the effect to get the total effect of the consumption. And Japanese vegetables consumption is still lower than the target for the nutrition purposes. That means we have some potential to increase. And indeed, many vegetable-related companies and even the government are promoting the consumption of vegetables to increase. And also in the case of the import, stable supply and quality are very important factors to export to Japan, as well as price, of course. And demand for cut vegetables, that is not really new, but the demand itself is increasing. And also vegetables of imports used for cut vegetables are increasing. So you should be careful, and you should watch the trend of consumption of cut vegetables in Japan. And also demand for functional vegetables are increasing, but it's very difficult to create. We need investment in research and development, and also marketing for elder society. So it has a very potential as a market in Japan. Also, we should emphasize the importance of quality control. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. That was very interesting. In Australia, we're obviously putting a lot of emphasis in increasing consumption of fruit and vegetables for health benefits. Are we starting to see in Japan an increase in health problems given the significant decline in vegetable consumption? Is that being reflected in the health statistics? I'm not quite sure whether you know that information or not.
Oh, sorry, I'm not really familiar with that area, but definitely you have many types of the consumers who are very concerned about some health and also some the food safety, and also so it's a very mixture. So that we should analyze one by one, and also some the mixture effect. Sorry, I couldn't answer details.
Thank you. Catherine Taylor from Austrade. Professor, it was a very interesting presentation, so thank you. Just interested to know if there's any government policy around encouraging the younger generation to eat more vegetables. For example, in Japan, I know they have a school lunch program in most schools. Do you know of any policies to try and reach that 350 grams per day among school-age children?
Well, it depends on the area and also some prefectural government promotion. But in general, as you may expect, that the government emphasize increasing the vegetables. Yeah, as you said, particularly for young person. So as I showed in the slide, the fresh vegetables consumption for younger age is very, very limited. So the school lunch would be a very important device to increase the vegetable consumption for young kids.
Thank you, Professor. Please join me in thanking Professor Honma. Thank you.